Welcome to this short of the 716 Sports Entertainment broadcast, brought to you by me, Sean, representing the NXT recap for yesterday, and just a real quick rundown of what I thought happened before we put out another one of our episodes later today, and hopefully an AEW follow-up for the dumpster fire that was the end of that PLE. And I already let all of you know my opinions of that when I went over it with Mike the other day, but that's a whole different show. For now, the NXT, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow, as always, comment. That way we can interact with you guys and maybe get some more ideas, get some stuff, get you guys involved. But as far as NXT for Tuesday the 8th, a lot of storyline stuff setting up the Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend pay-per-view. Opened the show with trying to interview Stephanie Vacker walking down the hallway to get who she'd be facing at Stand and Deliver in the women's title match. Looks like she was probably going to be choosing between Jordynne Grace and Jada Barker. They were going to have their match because they've been feuding, trying to get that number one contendership. At this point, I don't know, I'd be happy with either of them, so I'm kind of glad that they took this direction of having her wait while they had their match and then make her decision afterwards. Vacker, the match itself was, I gave it a B. It was a decent match. Pretty scary spot where Jordynne Grace tried to dive out at Parker and her foot got caught in the rope and she kind of face planted there. Could have been very bad. I think Parker managed to grab enough of her to keep it from ending worse than it did. That led almost directly, though, into Grace shoving Parker into Vacker, and then Vacker attempting to hit Parker, only to hit Grace, leading to a brawl between the three of them, with a surprise return from Julia, who at first it seemed like she was out there to help Stephanie, but at the end turned on her, hit her with her finisher, and posed with the title. So we didn't get an answer quite yet as to what the women's event would be, but later on in the show we'd find out it's going to be a four-way match between Julia, who never actually should have lost the title in my opinion, Stephanie Vacker, the title holder, and then Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker, the two women fighting for that spot. Don't know what I think. A lot of multi-person matches going into WrestleMania weekend, it seems like. I don't want to get overloaded with that, so I guess we will wait and see. We have another week of NXT beforehand, see what kind of more build we get going on there. Our next match up was the team of Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom against a team from Evolve named Swipe Right. Kind of condescending young kids that the week before had interacted with Fraxium, and Nathan Frazier kind of jumped the gun and accepted a match when it didn't look like Axiom wanted to. I give this match a B+. It was Nathan Frazier and Axiom are incredible in the ring. Both of them work really well together, so it's going to be disappointing when they end up dropping those titles. They've teased it a bunch lately with them being overworked and them sort of going at each other, but this match just showcased their abilities and how high-flying and fast they are in the ring. And nothing against Swipe Right for a young team. I'm glad that WWE is showcasing some of that Evolve talent on more than just their Wednesday night show, because I don't know how many people actually have Tubi and have an opportunity to watch it, but there's some real bright young talent down there, and this tag team is one of it. Like I said, B+ for that particular match. So following that up, we had our next match in the North American Championship qualifiers for the ladder match. This one was Sol Ruca accompanied by Zarya, who I think make a pretty good tag team together, and then Jasmine Nix of Fatal Influence accompanied with the rest of their group, JC Jane and Fallon Henley. There was teased a little bit of dissension before the match with Fatal Influence about who would actually be taking part, till Jasmine Nix kind of just said, "Oh, it's going to be me. Sorry, guys." Went out there. Gotta say, they gave Jasmine Nix a lot more than they usually do. Out of the members of Fatal Influence, she's honestly, I'd say, the least developed one. So it was nice to see her do pretty well. She may not have gotten the win. Sol Ruca ended up overcoming the interference from Fatal Influence to get the win after an always incredible Soul Snatcher, which love the name for that move. And other than the fact that it's an incredibly goofy looking setup for it, fantastic move. But Sol Ruca advances to the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. Give that one a C, just because it was a good match. But I mean, you could tell that Jasmine Nix still needs work in the ring, and other than Sol's athleticism and that Soul Snatcher move, not a whole lot more out of this match as far as how I'd rate it. Next match after that was just another losing effort by Hank and Tank. I give that one a C. Obviously, they are going somewhere with this storyline of the two of them losing match after match and interacting with all these other tag teams backstage who either give them crap about losing or like they ran into the Street Profits backstage after this. And I don't know if this is just meant to be building to them finally overcoming the losing streak, and I don't know, maybe them being the team that beats Frazier and Axiom. Not a whole lot though out of this particular match, so don't really have anything there. Following that, we had a segment with Ricky Saints, who I'm so glad to see him in NXT. He is one of the most charismatic people in wrestling, and I'm glad that he is not sitting on the sidelines somewhere. Looks like this segment was trying to set up, shocking, another multi-person match for a title, because Ethan Page came out to interrupt. Him and Saints have been feuding a little bit over the last couple weeks, followed by Lexis King saying he deserved a title shot, your Heritage Cup champion. Edie Thorpe coming out, which seems kind of random for him from me, to accuse Lexis King of only getting shots because he's white. And then Wesley coming out to claim he wants his title back. Honestly, I'm okay with this one. They have enough different styles out of these guys that I think it would make for a really good match. I think this could potentially be another ladder match of some sort. Hopefully, Saints still would retain, but I think a feud between him and Wesley would be absolute money. Big fan of Wesley. This led into a match between Wesley and Inamura, Josh Briggs' partner. They let Inamura get some decent defense in, or decent offense in. The bigger story just is the fact that Josh Briggs inadvertently cost him the match trying to stop the interference that was going to happen. So I don't know if that's going to end up leading to something between Briggs and Inamura, since that messed up their singles match. But we'll see. I like Briggs and Inamura as a tag team. I think Inamura's Frog Splash is, for a bigger guy, pretty awesome to watch. And I can't complain. I love watching Wesley in the ring. So any match he is in, I'm there for. I give that one a B. The next match up was another North American women's qualifier, this time from two women representing different factions. There was Ren Sinclair with the No Quarter Catch crew against Izzy Dame of the Culling, and there was a segment earlier in the show with Sean Spears talking to his group, the Culling, about how it was never about Spears having a title, so he was fine with having lost his belt to Ricky Saints, and that his ultimate goal is to make the younger group look stronger and get gold for them. So I think having Izzy Dame advance and go to the ladder match was the better choice here. Never really been a fan of the No Quarter Catch crew. I mean, Ren Sinclair is a great wrestler, but not a fan of that group. And I think that if this leads to the title going on to Izzy Dame for the Culling to maybe get a couple different sets of titles on him, I think I'd be for that. Otherwise, give this match C because it was about an average match. And then after all that, there was just our main event of whether or not Obafemi, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams, who are going to be competing in that three-way main event for the title at Stand and Deliver, could coexist long enough to take on Dark State, the faction running rampant across the NXT brand. Dark State came out strong, beating everyone down, had Javon isolated for a while, and of course from there the match went the way everyone expected, with a breakdown between Obafemi and Trick, who ended up fighting to the point that security had to come out and separate them, all while Dark State isolated and beat down Javon Evans. I don't know if this is going to lead to maybe a surprise Javon Evans win at Stand and Deliver, but honestly, the thought that I just had, I was originally thinking that Trick Williams might be the swerve with Dark State to be the leader, but a thought I just had is, what if it's Javon Evans? Mr. Oh, I'm going to keep trying to broker the peace while getting beaten down, turns out to, in fact, be utilizing Dark State so that he can win the title. I don't know if I'd like that, with Oba maybe dropping the title already. Obafemi should be built as the monster he is and not lose another match until, I would say, that he comes to the main roster. Give him like the Brock Lesnar treatment where he's like untouchable. Give this match an A. The storytelling was fantastic. The match was great. Dark State, for their first match together, I really liked them. The way they kept Javon Evans isolated, the mental games and everything. Yeah, loved it. And then the show closed out with Dark State standing tall over Javon when stacks of the D'Angelo family came up on the Jumbotron with a proposal for a street fight in the parking lot, a parking lot brawl, if you will, next week against Dark State. Should be interesting to see where it goes, especially with it being Stacks making the challenge and not Tony D'Angelo. So I don't know if Tony is involved or not, but guess we'll see. Again, thanks for watching us here with these at 716 Sports Entertainment. Like, subscribe, follow, and keep an eye out for our next set of videos today or tomorrow as the road to WrestleMania continues. Peace out.